You've done an interview with this panpsychist Goff who wrote the book Galileo's Error.
Yes.
I wonder if that is an area that can propose some kind of a bridge between quantum physics, fundamental physics, and how it relates to our lives, because it seemed to me, I had this conversation recently with this guy, Aaron McNally, where I brought up alchemists, and I think I might be incorrect here, but I think the way they approach their work is like they're studying this thing in a lab. There's a physical element in a retort that they apply heat or add another element to, and they're studying these objective physical processes, but they're keeping in the back of their mind that this somehow relates to the soul or the consciousness or the mind, whatever language they used, and different elements were associated with different qualities of the conscious reality, the life of the soul, and so forth. I haven't thought about it in a while, and it came back when I was listening to your interview about panpsychism, because I thought, well, I mean, if we take as a premise that a molecule can have some degree of consciousness, then as you're looking at how different kinds of molecules interact, you should be learning things about the consciousness then. You should be learning about how different elements of your psyche interact and mix up and create new elements of your psyche and so forth. So that might be, I don't know what it might be. It might be one of these ins to a new kind of language or way of relating or marrying these areas of study of reality that seem too disparate to me right now.
I like that. I'll just end with, and that if you saw that interview I did with Goff, I was sort of in the role of the skeptic and materialist for most of it and challenging his idea. And but actually, what you just said is really cool. I'm in the weird position of I love ideas, even though I end up rejecting almost all of them. Where I don't reject them so much as I sort of keep them at a distance.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something else that I was thinking about in regard to the psychedelic New York Times. My psychedelic experiences have made my overall worldview an ironic worldview.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the sense that pretty much anything we say about the world is not really true, but it might be true. It's so all propositions can be interpreted in different ways. This is something also, I think irony flows naturally from quantum mechanics. It lends itself to so many different interpretations. So I love the idea of a science that is kind of provisionally accepting of panpsychism, like a chemistry and a physics that incorporates panpsychism in a kind of ironic way, just to see what you can do with it, see where it takes you.
Right. We've done something with those imaginary numbers, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's very similar to that. And because, and going back to Terence McKenna, one of the things that I really love about his worldview is that the imagination, we have what we can learn about the world through empirical investigation. Then we've also got our imaginations, and the world is just richer and more interesting and more enjoyable in many ways, more exciting if we give our imaginations free rein and don't let them be too restricted by our skepticism.
Right. Right.
So yeah, go for it, man.